This is a Friday Shoes production. This is lesson 6-7 in our book on page 337. The target is I can graph translations on a coordinate plane. Let's remember now, translation, or sometimes called a slide, is the movement of a figure from one position to another without turning it. Again, it's kind of like sliding the figure. And the best way to show it is to look through an example. There's our one example. Let's also remember that a translation is one of the transformations that we've been studying. The last one we studied was reflection. All right. So it says copy trapezoid WXYZ, and you can see it there at the right on the graph paper. Then draw the image of the figure after a translation of 4 units to the left and 2 units down. Now, you just can watch how this works, and then we'll practice it in class. But first off, first thing we're going to do is we're going to move each one of the vertexes of the trapezoid, or the vertices of the trapezoid, 4 units left and 2 units down, because that's what it tells us to do. So you can kind of see the picture there. We're taking the X and the W and the Z and the Y. We're moving, and those are the new green dots. Now we have the prime symbols, W prime, X prime, Y prime, and Z prime. Those are the new locations. Pretty simple. You moved them 4 units to the left and 3 units down. Then, all you have to do is connect the vertices to form the image. And there you are. That's it. It's that simple. Let's take a look at another example here. We're going to show it to you in a different form, which we find on tests often. And this is called translations in the coordinate plane. So graphing triangle JKL with the vertices -3, 4, 1, 3, and -4, 1. You can see here, we're going to graph an image of that after a translation of 2 units to the right and 5 units down. I want to show you this new notation that we've seen mainly on tests. I believe there's one on MCA test that I thought I saw. It says here, in the coordinate plane, you can look at the study tip on the left. In the coordinate plane, a translation can be described using an ordered pair. A translation up or to the right is positive, and a translation down or to the left is negative. So they might say in this case, if you look here, we've got 2 units to the right and 5 units down. Right is a positive, down is a negative. So notice what they've written here. 2 -5 means a translation of 2 units right and 5 units down. In general, if you have coordinates of, let's say, x, y, and those are the original coordinates, then what you do is you take your first and second, those 2 numbers here, the 2 and the -5, or in this case they're calling them A and B, and you add them to your x and to your y. A goes with x, B goes with y. So this moves your points, moves the point x, y, A units horizontally and B units vertically. Now, in easier fashion here, you can look at this example. We're taking x, y, or the values, the coordinates of the original, and we're talking about this JKL here, this triangle here, and all we're going to do is we're going to add 2 units to the x value, because we're going 2 units to the right, and that's a positive. And then to the second value, the y value, we're going to actually subtract 5, or add -5. In the book, they're going to add -5. It's the same as subtracting 5. And that'll generate our new units, and those are our prime units. So, if you look, here we are. We take our originals. So the first unit, we add 2. And you can see that's what they're doing there in the red. And then to the second units, they're adding -5 or subtracting 5, the same thing. And they get the new vertices for your image. And that is what we would plot them. It's the same thing as moving everything 2 units to the right and 5 units down. It's just this is the notation we've been seeing on tests. So don't let that scare you. All right, how about this? It says graph triangle ABC with vertices 4, -3, 0, 2, and 5, 1. Then graph its image after a translation of -4, 3. Well, let's see here. What do we do first? Let's plot those points. So I did. A, B, and C are plotted. I connected the dots with lines. Now I have to do a translation of -4, 3. And that -4 means we're going to go 4 units to the left and 3 units up. So this means left and this means up here, because it's a +3. And then you can see there we've actually put the dots at those locations after we've moved 4 to the left and up 3. And what are those coordinates then? Well, let's take a look. A, what would that be? A would be 0, 0. What would B prime? Excuse me, that was A prime. How about B prime? B prime is going to be coming from the origin 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then how many up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the coordinates would be 4 to the negative side and then 5 up. And of course, our C prime would be 1 unit to the right from the origin and then 4 up. So we call that 1, 4. Those are the coordinates. All right, our last one here. Again, translations aren't too tough to figure out. It's just the notation that seems to be a little bit deceiving. All right, how about number 3 here? It says, if triangle PQR is translated 2 units to the left and 3 units down, what are the coordinates of point R prime? Well, what is R? R is 4 units to the right, 2 units up. So it's 4, 2. That's the location. Those are the coordinates. So what we want to do is translate it 2 units left and 3 units down. Now, using the notation, left and down are both negative. All right, so left is negative and down is negative. So we're going to subtract off 2 from 4 and 3 from 2. And when we do that, we end up with 2, -1. And 2, -1 is D. So the answer would be D in this case. That's translations in a nutshell. And of course, you can rewatch this video or read the examples in the book or see some of the personal tutor videos on our online textbook. This has been a Friday Shoes production.